Hello, and welcome back to Cheating Tales Hub, the place where we unravel stories of love, lies, and betrayal. Today's tale is one you won't want to miss, so stay tuned. Brad and Emma had been living together for 3 years. They worked at the same store, shared dreams, and planned a future together. Their bond felt unbreakable, and Brad believed Emma was the love of his life. But one day, Emma requested to move to the night shift, claiming it suited her better. Brad, trusting her completely, didn't question her decision. Little did he know that Emma had grown attracted to a coworker who also worked nights. Months passed, and Brad remained oblivious. But one Saturday morning, while doing laundry, he found 2 movie tickets in Emma's jeans. Confused, he brushed it off, convincing himself it must have been a night out with friends. However, Emma's behavior became increasingly suspicious. She was often on her phone, texting late into the night, and seemed distant. One evening, Brad decided to surprise Emma with dinner. Carrying takeout from their favorite restaurant, he unlocked the door and walked in, eager to see the smile on her face. But instead of a warm welcome, he heard muffled laughter and soft whispers coming from their bedroom. His heart sank, and his legs felt like lead as he approached the slightly ajar door. What he saw next stopped him in his tracks. Emma was in bed with her coworker, their intimacy undeniable. For a moment, Brad couldn't move, his mind reeling with disbelief and pain. He wanted to scream, to demand an explanation, but all he could do was stand there, shattered. Finally, Emma noticed him. Her face flashed with shock, but instead of guilt, her expression hardened. "You shouldn't have come home early," she said coldly, as if he were the one in the wrong. The coworker scrambled to get dressed, avoiding Brad's gaze, while Emma gathered her composure. Brad finally found his voice. "3 years, Emma. I trusted you," he yelled, his voice breaking. But Emma, instead of apologizing, spat back cruelly. "You were never enough for me." That night, she packed her things and left without a second glance, moving in with the man she'd betrayed Brad with, her boss. The next day, Brad faced another devastating blow. His boss, who was friends with Emma's new partner, fired him. Brad lost not only his love and home, but also his job. With nowhere to turn, he found himself on the streets, carrying a duffel bag and the weight of his heartbreak. After weeks of wandering, Brad ended up in a homeless shelter. It was there that he met Ivanka. Like Brad, she was carrying the scars of betrayal. Her boyfriend had left her for another woman after years of promising her a future. One chilly evening, as they sat sharing a meal, Brad and Ivanka opened up about their pasts. They laughed bitterly at the cruel twists of fate and cried over their shattered dreams. But amidst the pain, they made a pact. They wouldn't let their heartbreak define them. They would work hard, rebuild their lives, and prove that they were worth so much more. Brad started working as a sweeper at a local restaurant. It was grueling work, but he held on to the hope that better days would come. One afternoon, as he cleaned a table, he overheard a group of customers discussing blockchain and Bitcoin trading. Curious but hesitant, Brad approached them. "I'm trying to rebuild my life," he said earnestly. "I want to learn how to trade. Could you teach me?" The customers, impressed by his determination, invited him to visit their office. The next day, Brad showed up, nervous but eager. The team welcomed him warmly, teaching him the basics of blockchain and cryptocurrency trading. Brad threw himself into learning. He spent his days sweeping floors and his nights studying charts, watching tutorials, and absorbing everything he could about the financial world. His mentors saw his potential and soon offered him a position as a junior trader. As a junior trader, Brad worked tirelessly. He learned from his mistakes, analyzed trends, and stayed up late perfecting his skills. His hard work paid off, and within a few months, he became one of the company's top performers. Brad's efforts didn't go unnoticed. His mentors rewarded him with bonuses and entrusted him with larger accounts. With their encouragement, Brad eventually started trading on his own, attracting investors who believed in his talent. Meanwhile, Ivanka was also rebuilding her life. She started a small Airbnb business with one property, which she managed meticulously. Her attention to detail and excellent service earned her glowing reviews. Soon she expanded her portfolio, turning her side hustle into a thriving enterprise. One evening, Brad and Ivanka ran into each other at a cafe. They were amazed at how far they'd come since their days at the shelter. Over coffee, they shared stories of their journeys, inspiring each other to keep striving for more. Brad's trading business flourished, making him a millionaire within 2 years. One day, his company announced a hiring drive for a secretary. During the interviews, Brad was stunned when Emma walked into the room. She looked nervous, and her once confident demeanor was replaced by uncertainty. Emma, equally shocked to see Brad as the CEO, couldn't hide her discomfort. Brad, however, remained professional, conducting the interview without a hint of emotion. He hired her, not out of kindness, but because he knew success was the best revenge. At the office, whispers began to circulate among employees. Emma's awkwardness around Brad didn't go unnoticed, and many speculated about their history. Despite the past, Brad treated her like any other employee, maintaining a composed demeanor. Brad and Ivanka's friendship deepened. They often met to discuss their work, share advice, and celebrate each other's milestones. Brad shared his latest blockchain investments, while Ivanka talked about expanding her Airbnb properties to new cities. Their bond, built on shared struggles, slowly evolved into something more. One evening, Brad invited Ivanka to dinner. Under the soft glow of candlelight, he said, "We've come so far together. I think it's time we take a chance. On us." Ivanka smiled. "I think so too." Their relationship blossomed. They supported each other's dreams and built a life rooted in trust and mutual respect. Months later, at a corporate conference, Brad and Ivanka had an unexpected encounter. Emma's boss, Ivanka's ex-boyfriend, was also in attendance. The irony was impossible to ignore. As they exchanged polite greetings, Brad and Ivanka couldn't help but share a private laugh at the twists of fate. Their success was a testament to their resilience. Brad, once a homeless man sweeping floors, was now a millionaire trader. Ivanka, who had been abandoned and left to struggle, was now running a flourishing Airbnb empire. As the night ended, Brad and Ivanka reflected on their journey. They had turned their pain into power and built lives they could be proud of. Together, they decided to forge a future as life partners, knowing that their greatest revenge was not in words, but in the lives they had rebuilt.